These are the demons that were stalking me at Rock of Faith, and that associate pastor, the white male, that's engaging what is yelling at the top, gang stalking, just like the people that say here. These are demons who are mentally ill, who are pacing under the fake sun, and they're doing so while the entity, okay? Now at Rock Church, they're flying right over that fake thing, while City Hall employees are pacing. It's going to be defunded, and they're going to be federally prosecuted for what is terrorism, doing so in furtherance of murder, while they're sharing and gang stalking under that light source, which none of the demons are ignorant about, and that's why they engaged in what is a documented act of violence, because they're hostile demons who lost in a non-existent competition regarding authority that they don't have to sacrifice anybody, even when they dress up as Christians, okay, which are poor costumes under the fake sun, okay? And it's also poor costumes when you are behaving just like any other Satanist and everyone can see you, okay? There's no difference between the demons in the City Hall and the demons congregating at Rock of Faith. And the entity's doing so while I am documenting them, and you are very much aware of what it is that I'm documenting, putting it on social media while the entity's engaged in misconduct. And the U.S. military stalking me is putting those demons in prison. Eddie's going to prison. The entity that's engaging was referring to, I'm going to call the police after nothing happened. He's yelling at me, and then he says, I'm not talking to you. Listen to what he is stating. He's not making sense because he's so razzled and flustered, because they're trying to put together a narrative regarding harassing me, and they don't have any basis to. You can hear that clearly in what it is that they're stating. And when I'm asking logical questions about what are you talking to, or who are you talking about, or when did I talk to you about, and when did we have an encounter about my phone, I've never engaged in capturing any video. And the entity, I typically start documenting when the demons start acting up. All right, so this is the entity that's engaging that. I have not thus far done it, but I did today. The entity's going to prison for that. And clearly, as you see the entity doing cartwheels, remember what City of Ontario employees are doing yesterday, because they're hostile demons, molesting me with impossible light. And how do you know that I'm telling the truth about being touched with impossible light that's shooting at me necessarily like that which you saw in the laundromat yesterday? Because the fake sun is still here, and that's a supernatural phenomenon. And so it is absolutely reasonable that you're speaking to other phenomena, such as being accosted all over your body and face with light while they're operating City of Ontario vehicles where they're engaging what is a sexual assault and battery as an entity that's monitoring. That's the significance of the psychopaths that molest with light and do cartwheels and stalk in planes. They do so while the people of the state are speaking as an entity, and they committed criminal defamation by calling me a thief. Okay? And while they are harassing and gang stalking me and conspiring my murder by virtue of gang stalking, nobody cares that you don't understand the law that you're surrounded by. You shouldn't be gang stalking, Satan, because you are conspiring murder while you are gang stalking with the government that's flying over that building. This is the P.O.C. The entity had the fake sun as I documented and embarrassed these demons this morning. Remember what I captured this morning? It was over here. All right? And it followed me here, which is Rock Church stalking me. And doing so because the demons are engaged in monitoring. And I want to be clear, your fear is the answer is not to engage in more criminal activity. This is why you're going to prison. This is the threat that they pose to the rest of the country. Okay? The entities engage in that pattern of conduct, and they do so. You know how they respond with fear and to the ongoing defeat? Is stalking with light, stalking with helicopters, and making those unfounded allegations. That's the entity that's committed repeated kidnapping. That's why every kidnapper, I mean the ones in the court, the ones of the police department, the ones of the sheriff, the ones that are summoning them like OVITT Family Community Library, that entire large group are going to prison. Every single last one. This is P.O.C. It is currently 4:32 p.m. That's why you shouldn't gang stalk with the mentally ill. Okay, they're not successful. They are inherently inferior, especially when I am coming and maintaining a public and professional investigation where you are under no circumstances under any sort of ability to contend with that which has been designed to overtake you and expose you. Okay, Satan and the demons and the homosexuals and the psychopaths that don't have any self-control, and they don't have any strategy. They just engage in what is throwing lies and yelling and harassing and abusing together. That does not make a formidable adversary. It makes a lot of people that are going to be inmates, all right, and be patients in medical facilities, and that's the truth. That's what's happening. This is the P.O.C. where the fake sun remains to where I was present this morning at the OVITT Family Community Library. Now, everybody already knows what's happening to all the employees inside of OVITT Family Community Library. People like Mickey that were under the fake sun this morning during the 9 a.m. hour. They're going to prison. Yes, absolutely. This is P.O.C.